The UK's first pilot scheme to reward households for recycling waste begins today. That means that 4,000 homes in the Windsor and Maidenhead area are going to now receive reward points in exchange for any old paper, cardboard, plastic, glass and metal that they recycle. When they get these points, they can then swap them for vouchers, which can be spent at hundreds of businesses, from M&S to Legoland, local cafes and leisure centres. Now, the scheme is being run for the local council by two companies, Veolia Environmental Services and an American company, Recycle Bank. Well, we're lucky enough to have Matthew Tucker in, who's the president of Recycle Bank, in with us. Matthew, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Why have you decided to launch this now?
Well, this is the perfect time for us. We were approached by some very innovative councillors from Royal Borough Windsor Maidenhead who had heard about Recycle Bank and what we were doing in the States and asked us to come over here. When we looked at the market, we realized it was the perfect time and right market for us to come into.
Their recycle rates are already at 37%. Now, I know the government and, many people would like this to be higher, but that's a significant rate already. How much more are you going to boost this up?
Well, we've shown increases in the States, even in communities that have very large recycling rates, of upwards of 30 to 80% above what any community is doing. So while 37% is excellent, we know we can dramatically move it above that.
And how does this work? Because you as a company need to provide trucks, I'm presuming, because everything has to be weighed, doesn't it?
Sure, everything's weighed. We have a fantastic partnership with Veolia Environmental Services. They provide the trucks, they provide the equipment on the trucks, but that money that is spent for that equipment comes out of the landfill savings. So for councils, it's really a no-lose situation. For every ton that we divert from the landfill, we take part of that savings and put it against the cost of the equipment.
So you're also able to make the profits you need to make.
Sure, of course.
Isn't it quite time-consuming, though, to separate everything out and weigh everything out? Surely there's a more convenient way of doing this.
We think there is a more convenient way. We do what's called commingled recycling. So all of your recycle goes into one wheelie bin. That wheelie bin is then weighed. You get points based on how much you've recycled. You go online to recyclebank.com. and you can redeem those points for anything from Marks & Spencer vouchers to local businesses.
So I'm presuming that those households who are quite big drinkers, who have lots of wine bottles and beer bottles, are going to do quite well out of this.
Well, big drinkers may do okay, but big readers will actually do better. Pulp and paper weighs a lot more than a wine bottle because mostly that's air inside the bottle.
Okay.
So read more, don't drink more, I think is probably the right answer, right?
Good advice, which we're always happy to give here on Working Lunch. So, is this, do you think, the start of a trend? Are communities going to get more involved in this?
No question. I mean,
are you speaking with other councils?
We are. We're rolling out in Merseyside in October. So you have a number of very innovative councils, and we've been speaking with City of London. The Mayor's office here is very cognizant of what we're doing and very excited to bring it to London as well. But we are serving every demographic in every geography here in the UK.
I'm watching Guy's face as we speak about this, because I know you're not convinced about how the cohesion between councils across the country and how they approach recycling. What do you make of this?
Well, I just think there's a tremendous will out there for people to recycle and do their bit to make the world a better place. I think that's their motivation to recycle is A, just a deploring waste, and B, wanting to make the world a better place. And I just can't see that a reward-based system is going to add to that. What councils need to do is remove obstacles, and it's just so confusing the way it is at the moment, where you might work in one council and they have a completely different policy on plastics, and then you go home to another one and they have a different, you go on holiday to another one, it's different again. We need them all to be the same. We need a national policy, preferably a pan-European policy, so that companies like ours that are, I know it's a big ask, so because people are producing this packaging, they need to know what's going to happen at the end of it, and you can't have different things happening in different boroughs.
Fair point, Matt.
Well, not really. Guy is, God bless him, he's the leader of an organics fruit and veg company, and so he is naturally inclined to be a great recycler, I would think, but to think that everybody is like that would be just a massive mistake. We serve every demographic, young, old, rich, poor, 1 million+ householders in the States, thousands of people here in the UK, and there are very few people who are as impassioned about recycling as Guy is. If we can make everyone a bit more like Guy, we have done our job.
Okay.
There is no question.
All right, Matt, Guy, thank you both very much.